move to the last bit, which is about the next steps. And I just need to switch slides. So please give me a second. Or maybe it's in the same one. Okay. So let me just show you what we are doing next. And I will share my screen for the final round. Okay. So as you know, this was an introduction. We couldn't go into too much detail, but I think it probably gave you a sense of why we started this whole project and what inspired us. You could see the people, some of the people, not all the people, there is much more to come, who have inspired us. And the way this project is organized is under 3 strands. We didn't say it yet. So sustainable housing, renewable energy, and sustainable food. So these are the strands we will work with more in depth, and you can be part of one or many. It's up to you. You can follow all 3 strands or two of those, or just one, depending on your interest. But the way the whole thing is structured as well, that from now on we will have 14 events. There will be some wrapping up and networking events at the end, but otherwise each strand will kind of have 4 sessions. One introductory, which introduces the theme, and 2 practical training ones, which is really showing the practical side. It's a face-to-face, obviously. The participation there is more limited, but maybe at own costs there we could extend that, and to more people than the project can finance. And there will be a concluding one, kind of drawing lessons. We heard already some lessons today, but drawing lessons and learning things for policy. So this is the first set of events coming up, and I would like to, in a minute, highlight 2 of those which are very critical and very interesting, which are coming up on the 12th May, where we will talk about the food strand, online first, and that will be the introduction of that stream of work. And the other one on the 9th of June, which will be on the introduction to the housing strand. And you can see that then it will be followed in July with a workshop in Gömörsölös. Then Piotr will introduce in a minute the workshop in Tomasin. And then we start with the introductory event still in 2026 of the renewable energy and energy community strand. And that continues. Of course, you don't have to memorize, and we will share. I think there were some questions, although I'm sure there were. I couldn't follow the chat, but there are always questions if we will share the presentations. And yes, we will. We have also recorded it, so we will share the recording as well. So this is the list of 2007 events in the same logic, but you don't have to memorize it all. So just to jump, something which you can note down in your agenda, and especially fans of Ivan, and I'm sure you will become fans of Piotr as well, and already in the international audience, people know Piotr quite well. But we will have an online meeting, and this time we will test with the evening slot, so from 6 till 8 p.m. on the 12th of May. It seems that for some who are working during the day and cannot just jump out of work, it fits better. Essentially, the structure, you won't hear me telling another life story, no worries. So the introduction will be simple, but the focus will be on the practice and the practical side. So we will hear much more from Ivan on ecological gardening, or I just put that, but he might talk about other things as well. From Piotr, who will introduce himself in a second on another slide with regard to his workshop, and another slightly larger scale farmer who still keeps sustainable ways of producing things. And then there will be an opportunity to discuss, and we haven't yet discussed with our interpreters, whom I'd like to thank now, but they will continue, but I will forget maybe at the end. I sometimes jumped secretly to the interpretation, and it's really great to listen to that. So I really hope they will be available on the 12th of May as well. So please note it down in your agenda if you want to learn more about the food strand. And then also note down the date, save the date for the June session, the 9th of June, which we will have on the housing. And of course, Paul and others will talk in that session, maybe also Piotr, who represents kind of both trends, because they have hemp house constructions, other than being interested in the earthship construction. So the agenda is to be confirmed, but if you are interested in the housing strand, please note this date in your agenda and save the date. With that, I would like to pass the floor. I don't know, Ivan, if you want to introduce or say a bit of a teaser of the workshop in July. What will people experience, or those who would like to sign up?
Good, thank you. We are planning to introduce actually the village itself, its cultural values and traditions. We have the visitor center and demonstration center here. So we demonstrate different sustainable resource use technologies. It also will be introduced. And then, of course, the main issue is sustainable farming. So we plan a discussion. What is sustainable farming at all? What are the elements of this on different scales, of course. We want to share the experience of the participants about it. And then, of course, participants will visit my garden, and then we learn about the practice. What we do, actually, probably they will try to do it actively as well, just help us, actually. And we will visit the ancient orchard. There's no fruits, of course, but it's it's really a very Asian orchard. And then not last, we will provide excellent food by Andrea. And then I promise a beautiful environment, both social and that nature environment for you. And then we will have a big fun.
I'm sure about that, and I can absolutely confirm the great food and the beautiful environment, because we experienced it both recently. Very nice, thanks a lot. And Piotr, if you are somewhere online, if you can introduce yourself and say a few words about the biotech conference in September.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, very quiet. We need a better microphone somehow.
Maybe now? 1, 2.
Not that loud, but try, and hopefully.
We will be running a biotech conference, probably with a special guest, Richard Perkins, one of the.
Piotr, it's very, very, very bad connection. Sorry, we can hardly hear you.
Okay.
Can you switch
So,
into?
Adina, please introduce what you know, because I'm over the phone traveling with my kids from.
Okay, maybe you say it and I will translate. I've been okay, or maybe should I say what
Just
I?
say a few words. What you think?
Okay. Ooh, that I didn't expect this challenge. So I've been to the biotech conference, previous edition of it in Tomashin, and Piotr's farm is an inspiration in many ways, in the way he produces things, but also the farm to fork aspects, and also, for instance, the hemp house storage, hemp building that he will introduce. More importantly, you might have heard about Richard Perkins, who also works in regenerative agriculture, and he's very well known in Sweden. And Piotr, correct me if I say something wrong. He's a big inspiration for Piotr himself, and he will be present and show and educate us on some of the regenerative agricultural aspects. So I think it's going to be a slightly bigger event, more like a conference with more participants, but a lot to learn from these people. Piotr, anything I missed? Sorry, we lost you now. You see that? Yeah. Anyway, that's what I was talking about. There are people who are busy and sometimes don't necessarily sit in front of a computer just listening to us, as I mentioned before. But let's jump, and there is still time, so we can still introduce it also on the online session. Piotr can tell more about that because he will do a presentation as well on the 12th of May. And there will be a renewable energy workshop. I need to introduce this. This will be in Hungary, and these are the two municipalities that, oops, there is now a big delay. Maybe it's Annika, can you hear if you see Piotr? No, it's muted. Okay. So essentially, this will be a workshop where we show how to start this thing. Of course, Stans is advanced in many ways. They've got an energy community, a much favorable regulation and rules, I have to say, than in many other countries. So Austria is well advanced in Europe. But these two communities nevertheless started to focus on renewable energy solutions. And we will visit Pápatesér and after that Nagypály. So it will be a combined travel across Hungary to show how small communities can set on the renewable energy and energy community role. So that will be the workshop with those presenters. Paul, very quickly, if you can say 2 words on the airship.
Yes, 3 words actually. There's going to be 3 how-to questions being answered. How to, in the terms of hardware, let's put it that way, in the construction of straw bale, also earthship, but also working with clay plaster, other natural materials. But also how to, in the terms of software, that means community building, because you can't build anything without people, and that's just the other half of the effort. And thirdly, about expanding the outreach of your initiative and community, and expanding the impact of it in the environmental, in the environment, in the municipality, but also beyond that. So it's going to be threefold about housing and the effects of it.
Thanks a lot. And I think I remember, Paul, you had a special request that people shouldn't travel by plane, which might be a specific criterion for participating, and the challenge, I'm sure, a great challenge for many of us. But okay, thank you very much. And maybe 2 words about the Stans workshop, although I don't know who can think in a year's time, but Fritz, if you want to say 2 words on what you normally do in these workshops. I know you haven't planned this one yet.
When you come to Stans, we want to show you how to become less dependent on fossil fuels. So we can show what we did and what are the best ways to achieve that, and including our mistakes, our failures, and our success stories. It's more or less a combination between green transformation and social innovation, because, you know, best technique is wonderful, but when you don't have people to want to use it, it's more or less senseless. So that's my teaser. Thank you for letting us share our story here. We have a lot of nice peoples and many reasons to come to Stand. So yeah, you are invited all. Thank you.
And I can again confirm that I've been there for a couple of times on different occasions. So that's it.